Hi, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you come across this video. This is Joe Unfiltered, a channel where we discuss issues and we say it as it is, unfiltered, unsugar-coated, and without bias. Today, we are looking at the electoral reforms in Nigeria, the issues surrounding whether the results of the election should be transmitted electronically or not. While on one hand, the Senate is of the opinion, or they initially passed the bill as results transmission electronically should not or is not mandatory. The civil society groups and other activists went to protest at the National Assembly, and the National Assembly, or the Senate in this case, had to revisit the matter and now made the transmission of election results electronically as part of the bill. They, however, added a clause that the transmission electronically will be used if the technology or if network permits. So I want us to look at a few issues around this. First, one thing I want us to look at is that pressure works and that we can change the country. The pressure from civil society groups and the minority within the Senate was why the Senate had no option, despite most of them holding the view that election results should not be transmitted electronically and in real time. They had to reverse themselves. So it means that if we all decide to be concerned about our country, look at what is happening at every point, and decide to have a say at every point in time, the country will be better, and leaders will have no option but to do the right thing because they know the citizens are looking. So this tells us we need to have something I call responsible citizenship. On the other hand, the Senate were clever by half, I should say, by saying, okay, if the technology or if network permits, election results should be transmitted electronically. Knowing the kind of society we have built so far, it is almost certain that we're going to have a glitch. Just like we spent billions of naira in the last election, we had a glitch and nobody was called to explain what caused the glitch, what even happened to start with. Now, we are almost certain that in places where elections will be rigged, or where there's an intention to rig elections, they will not transmit the results electronically and real time. Is transmission of these results electronically even the solution to our problems? I want us to look at it in a different light. While transmission of results electronically will reduce the chances of rigging, it will not eliminate it. What we need to do is responsible citizenship. Just like we put pressure, or just like some people within the country put pressure on the Senate to take a second look at the issue of transmitting results, we need to take that into elections. Because if you look at, we've never been able to achieve 50% turnout during elections. The number of registered voters vis-a-vis the number of people that vote, the number is always far less. So we have a situation where a few of us make a decision for the whole. And in a situation like this, it is going to be easy to rig, whether you transmit the results electronically or not. So I am of the view that if we want to change Nigeria, if we want a better Nigeria for ourselves and our children yet unborn, we need to all participate in the electoral process. We all need to come out en masse, vote, and also protect our votes, so that whether the election results are transmitted electronically or not, the voice of the people will eventually prevail. Until we all decide to come out and vote, then the chances for politicians to rig the election will always be there. We need to all agree that enough is enough, and the next election should record something like 80 to 90% turnout. Before we draw the curtains, I leave us with one word for today. If you don't use your voice, someone else will use your silence. Thank you very much and see you next time.